In the late 1500s, Eastern Europe was one of the most dangerous regions in the world. Massive powers surrounded the smaller states of the region. The Ottoman Empire dominated the Balkans with a military machine feared across continents. The Habsburg Empire controlled large parts of Central Europe and constantly fought for influence. And the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth stood as another powerful force in the north. Caught between these giants were small principalities fighting just to survive. One of those was Wallachia. But in 1593, a leader rose to power who refused to accept life under the shadow of empires. Instead of submission, he chose resistance. His name was Michael the Brave. And for a brief moment in history, he shocked Europe by defeating armies, conquering rival territories, and becoming the first ruler to unite the Romanian lands, all while facing three major empires. Wallachia was a small principality located between powerful neighbors. Technically, it was under the control of the Ottoman Empire, meaning its rulers had to pay heavy tribute to the Sultan. This system allowed Wallachia limited autonomy, but in reality it meant constant political pressure and economic exploitation. The Ottomans expected loyalty. If a ruler disobeyed, the consequences were swift armies, invasion, and replacement by a more obedient leader. Meanwhile, to the west stood the Habsburg Empire, constantly competing with the Ottomans for dominance in Central Europe. To the north was the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, another major power with its own ambitions in the region. Wallachia was trapped in the middle. Most rulers tried to survive by balancing diplomacy between these giants. Michael the Brave chose a different path. Michael became ruler of Wallachia in 1593. Almost immediately, he began preparing for rebellion. Instead of openly declaring war, he secretly joined an anti-Ottoman alliance known as the Holy League. This coalition included the Habsburg Empire, the papacy, and several European states determined to push back Ottoman expansion. Then Michael struck. In a coordinated uprising, he launched attacks across Wallachia against Ottoman officials and tax collectors. Ottoman garrisons were attacked, and tribute payments suddenly stopped. For the Ottoman Empire, this was a direct act of rebellion. And they responded exactly how you would expect. A massive army was sent north to crush Michael and restore Ottoman control. In 1595, the Ottoman army marched into Wallachia with overwhelming numbers. Some estimates suggest the Ottoman force may have had around 60,000 soldiers or more, while Michael's army had only about 15,000 men. The difference was enormous. But Michael understood something crucial: terrain could be a weapon. Near a place called Lugrini, the landscape was filled with marshes, narrow bridges, and rivers. Large armies would struggle to maneuver there. Michael positioned his forces carefully. When the Ottomans attacked, they were forced to advance through tight and muddy ground where their numbers meant less. Michael launched sudden cavalry attacks, striking at the enemy while they struggled to organize. The battle was chaotic and brutal. At several moments it looked like the Ottomans might overwhelm the smaller Wallachian army. But Michael personally led counterattacks that pushed the enemy back. By the end of the battle, the Ottomans had suffered heavy losses. Although Michael eventually withdrew strategically to avoid being surrounded, the battle became legendary across Europe. It proved that the Ottoman war machine could be challenged by clever leadership and smart use of terrain. But Michael was thinking about something even bigger. At the time, the Romanian-speaking lands were divided into three separate states: Wallachia, Transylvania, and Moldavia. Each region had its own ruler and was influenced by different empires. Michael believed that uniting these lands could create a stronger power capable of resisting foreign domination. In 1599, he launched a campaign into Transylvania. The region was ruled by Andrew Thory, who had support from the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. That meant Michael was now challenging another powerful state. The two armies met at the Battle of Ilimar. Michael's forces attacked with determination and defeated Thory's army. Soon after, Michael entered the city of Albirulia, the capital of Transylvania. With that victory, he became ruler of both Wallachia and Transylvania. For the first time, his dream of unification was starting to become real. But Michael was not finished yet. In 16, he marched east into Moldavia. The campaign moved quickly. The Moldavian ruler fled, and Michael successfully took control of the region. For the first time in history, Wallachia, Transylvania, and Moldavia were united under one ruler. It was a remarkable achievement. Michael the Brave had succeeded where many leaders had failed. He had brought together the Romanian lands under a single authority, creating a powerful new state in Eastern Europe. But this sudden rise in power frightened the surrounding empires. The Habsburg Empire had once supported Michael against the Ottomans, but now they worried he might become too independent. Meanwhile, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth also wanted influence over Moldavia and Transylvania. Soon, powerful enemies formed alliances against him. In late 1600, a coalition of forces attacked Michael's territories. Facing pressure from multiple directions, his army suffered defeats and he lost control of Transylvania and Moldavia. For a moment, it looked like everything he had achieved was about to disappear. But Michael refused to give up. He traveled to seek help from the Habsburg Emperor Rudolf II and managed to rebuild his army. In 1601, he returned to the battlefield alongside Habsburg forces. Together they fought at the Battle of Gurisul and defeated their enemies once again. It looked like Michael might finally restore his power and rebuild his united state. But the greatest danger was no longer on the battlefield. It was political betrayal. The Habsburg commander Giorgio Basta saw Michael as a threat. A strong and independent ruler in the region could challenge Habsburg influence. Instead of working together after their victory, Basta made a ruthless decision. In August 1601, Michael the Brave was assassinated by mercenary soldiers under Basta's command. He was only 43 years old. With his death, the fragile union of the Romanian lands collapsed. Yet his legacy did not disappear. For generations, Michael the Brave became a symbol of courage, resistance, and national unity. Centuries later, when Romania finally united in the 19th century, many people remembered him as the first leader who had tried to bring the Romanian lands together. His life proved that even small states could challenge powerful empires with bold leadership and determination. And that is why, more than 4 centuries later, Michael the Brave is still remembered as one of the greatest heroes in Eastern European history. Michael the Brave shocked Europe by fighting the Ottomans, confronting the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and navigating the power of the Habsburg Empire while briefly uniting the Romanian lands. His life proved that determination and vision can challenge even the mightiest empires. If you enjoyed this story of a warrior who stood against 3 empires, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more epic stories from history. And if you want to see another incredible moment where a small force challenged a massive empire, check out the next video on your screen.